today I'm going to talk about traveling with a baby for the first time. I traveled with my son for the first time when he was about 4 months old. It was about an hour flight one way. Well, we went both ways. It was about an hour flight. We live in the Chicagoland area and we were flying to Nashville, so it was a perfect test flight because it was only an hour long. Just in case, he ended up screaming the entire time. It was the perfect flight to try out. My son is chilling out on the bed with me right here, looking at me practicing some tummy time on his boppy, so I'm going to be looking back and forth a little bit. Yeah, I know, right? By the way, how is every mom on YouTube so put together? I had really long hair when I was pregnant, so about 1 month postpartum, I chopped it all off. I have the cutest short hairdo. I love it when I curl it. And every single time I want to film, my hair is disgusting. I don't have time to wash it constantly and curl it nonetheless. So this is as good as it's gonna get. I just threw it up. I wanted to do this video. So we traveled 3 weeks ago now, and every time I do this, I don't have time. I never have time to film after work, or there's no light, so I don't do it. And then on weekends, I'm gross and I never wash my hair, whatever. And there's no amount of dry shampoo in the world that can fix this situation right now, so whatever. So I have family who lives in Nashville, so we wanted to travel down there as our first trip as a family. We thought that would be the perfect opportunity to go somewhere. So I did a lot of research ahead of time especially about the airport situation. I was really nervous about coordinating his feeding times, what to bring on the plane with us, what to check, how to get in the airport, because a lot of people don't think about that part. We personally always park at the airport and then walk in, so there's all this crap that you have to carry in with you. We decided not to bring a stroller. He's at the age where he wasn't sitting independently in a stroller yet. Instead, he's still in his infant car seat that would snap in the stroller. So I just felt like it was a whole other piece of equipment that we would be bringing. And then also, he does really well in a baby carrier. So I figured we were only going for 5 days. We were visiting family who would want to hold him anyway. So we decided against the stroller. I would either carry him or put him in the baby carrier the entire time we were there. And it worked out really well. And it was one less piece to carry into the airport with us. We decided to check our car seat. We were flying Southwest, so he's only 4 months old. We did not pay for an extra seat for him, so he was a lap child. And I decided, I know you can bring a car seat and a stroller all the way through the airport with you and check it right at the gate. But I didn't want to do that because we weren't bringing the stroller, and I didn't want to carry this car seat around unnecessarily. I've heard a few horror stories about checking that with your luggage and things getting damaged or things getting lost. Fingers crossed, hopeful that wouldn't happen to us. We ended up finding this awesome car seat carrier, kind of car seat cover, I should say, on Amazon. And it was a backpack. We could put his infant car seat, and a bigger car seat fits in there later, so we could use it for a long time. We can put it in this carrier, zip it up, and put it on as a backpack. I mean, a ginormous backpack, but it's then your hands free. So it was a really good option. And what we decided to do was we decided to bubble wrap it too. So what we did was we pulled into the parking lot at the airport. I know. We timed it out where he needed to eat right at that time. Hold on, he is getting distracted. Mr. Leanne has his first cold. I'm so sad. But he's such a trooper. He's been doing so well with it. So I timed it out where he would need a bottle right around the time we would get to the airport. So what I did, we pulled into our spot. I got him out, and fed him in the front seat of the car while my husband bubble wrapped his car seat with the base. Don't forget to bring the base. I know a lot of people who I've heard of forgetting the base or whatever, because our car seat doesn't fit just with the seatbelt in certain types of cars. So anyway, we brought the base too. My husband bubble wrapped it like crazy and then packed it. And while he was doing that, I was feeding him. So then we had the car seat in a backpack that my husband had. My husband carried both my luggage, my husband's luggage, and I think he had a backpack of his of his own too. And then I put him in the baby carrier, and then I carried his luggage and my diaper bag. So it worked out fine. My diaper bag is a backpack, so it's also hands-free. And we made it then. We were able to get on the shuttle, go into the airport, and make it without like needing a luggage cart or without my husband having to like drop us off ahead of time. And I think like if and when we have a second kid, we'll have to change that up a little bit because that was a lot of stuff just with us. We were going for 5 days, so he did need his own piece of luggage. So at the airport, since he's a lap child, you have to go up to the actual check-in counter. You can't like self-check-in or do curbside check-in. You need to go up with your baby's identification. So he doesn't have a passport yet, so we had his birth certificate. You need an original, not a copy. We just went up there. It was super easy to check in. I was really nervous about that part of it. And then he got his own little boarding pass. It was like the cutest thing ever. So we had to save it for his memory box. And then went on to security. And at that point, he was in our carrier and he was fast asleep. And I didn't know if security would make me completely take off the carrier. And they were so sweet. TSA, there was this like big man who looked a little tough, and he saw me coming up with him fast asleep, and he was like, if you take off that child and wake him up, and they let me go through. I think most baby carriers are made with like very small amounts of metal or no metal at all. And I was able to go through the metal detector without it being set off at all. It was awesome. So we made our way right through there. I did go through with breast milk. I kind of flagged them right before I put that through. I said, hey, this is bottles, these are milk. And when I went through, they kind of just stuffed to the side with me and tested them. So I didn't know how they would test them. Like I'm like, oh God, are they going to have to like open it up? But they didn't. She was really sanitary about it and like made sure to tell me, she's like, I'm changing my gloves just for you. And she had to take them out with that cough. I love baby coughs. I mean, I don't love it when babies cough, but the baby coughs, they're like, and they do a little tongue. It's so cute. Poor guy. You see yourself? Look at you. You're such a trooper, even when you have a cold, as you are. So anyway, they take your bottles that are over a certain ounce, and I know it's over the 2.5 regular liquid limit. I think it's like 3 point something, like 3.25 or 3.75, I don't know. But I had several bottles like as backup, because like, what if our flight was delayed or something? So she just took each one and had to put it in this little machine that tested it. I'm not sure what for. And then she actually let me come behind the counter to repack it myself, which I appreciated. I thought that was all very easy. They were all very helpful, and let us go right through to the gate. And the way I kind of timed it out, he drinks bottles every 3 to 4 hours. We got to the airport about 3 hours, like parked for his first bottle. So then his next bottle was, if our flight was on time, would be literally while we were taking off, and that worked out really well. So at the airport, I made sure to change his diaper right before we go on the plane, and then as we're in line, like ready to board, I hear him have the biggest poop, and I'm like, oh my God. We were traveling actually with my mom and dad. Were on the same flight as us, and so my mom and I like went running to the bathroom and did like the fastest diaper change ever, and we made it back to board on time. But that was a little nerve-wracking. And then by that time he fell asleep, and I kind of had to wake him up to eat his bottle. I was really nervous about his ears. But he was totally fine on the flight. It was a full flight. They're not assigned seats, and we were in the A group, but kind of towards the end. Again, this is Southwest. And my husband's a really tall guy. He cannot fit anywhere on Southwest other than an aisle seat. Like physically does not fit in the window seat. So we get on and we need a middle and an aisle seat. My parents were going to sit elsewhere. And so I get on the flight and like we go to the first 2 seats we see, and we would have had to go like 10 rows back to get another 2 seats together. And it was a businessman in the window seat, and he just looks at me. He's like, ugh, like physically so annoyed that he's sitting next to a baby. And he's like, why don't I switch with your husband? And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, but my husband doesn't fit in the window seat. Like, you see, like, he's 6'8", like, he doesn't fit. And the guy's like, okay, well, and he was so annoyed, like, did not want to sit next to us, and it was a full flight, like, sorry. And I said, I kind of smiled, I'm like, well, it's only an hour flight, we'll be okay. And this kid didn't make a peep the entire flight. So I was like one proud peacocking mama once we landed. I'm like, oh, look at my kid, he didn't make a sound. And of course, then we stand up and the lady behind me is like, oh my God, I didn't even know there was a baby on the plane. I'm like, what? Oh my God, thank you, right? He was so good. And then on the way home, he did get a little, like, he was awake the entire time on the flight home. And he was just talkative. And sometimes he complains. Like, it's not a cry, but it's just like, meh, So he was doing that, but it was totally fine. Once you land, car seats go into the oversized luggage, so you just kind of have to watch out for that. I think that's all airlines. They don't really, like, tell you that, so I had looked that up beforehand. I feel like you could easily just be sitting there waiting with the rest of your luggage, wondering where your car seat is. But you have to go to the oversized luggage area. I want to work on my arms so they don't jiggle like that. Why? Be careful with rental cars. So we were renting a car, so we brought our own car seat. We probably could have Ubered too, no problem, because we had the base. It just would have taken a little time to pack the car. If you're not bringing your car seat base, you really have to research and make sure your car seat will fit in that rental car, or know exactly what kind of rental car you have, because usually you don't. You're like mid-size, and then you go pick out one. But I'm telling you, like, most car seat bases, we have this City Mini GT, so the City Mini infant car seat, and it does not fit. Like, we tried to put it in my in-laws car without the base, an Acura TL, it did not fit in the back seat, just with the seatbelt. And then they have a Toyota, I don't know, the mid-size SUV Toyota. Didn't fit in that either, I don't think. Maybe we haven't tried it, but since then we've always, like, since it didn't work in the TL, we've always used the base everywhere. I'm just nervous to not be able to get a car seat in there. And then I know a lot of people, you can rent a car seat with your car rental company, and we kind of looked into that. One of my coworkers, he travels a lot with his kids. He swears by doing that because he has 2 kids. It's just so much easier. The rental company we had, I'm not going to mention which one because I'm not 100% sure now which rental company we used. I had looked up their reviews about renting a car seat beforehand, and some of their reviews were that, like, the car seats were dirty. Like, you could tell they don't, like, clean them in any way. They were, like, crumbs, and, like, somebody else said they could tell, like, the baby had an accident in it, so no thanks. And then also the small words, it's like, we cannot guarantee that the car seat will be there. We'll just request that you get one. It's like, no, like, I'm not gonna, I don't know. Maybe we'll try again sometime. I'm not sure. But until then, it worked out bringing the car seat base. Being there worked out really well. One of the things I did was we're supplementing, so he drinks breast milk and formula. So I had made enough bottles for the whole day, and then I didn't bring formula. We went and bought it because, I know there's Target and Walmart and all sorts. Kroger, I think, is down there. But we went, that was our first stop. We went straight to Target. We bought formula for the week. We bought nursery water. And then we bought diapers and wipes because I didn't want to bring, like, a ton of diapers and wipes in my bag and take up all this space. So I had brought enough diapers for the day, and then we went and bought diapers while we were there. And then I was able to pack the formula and bring it home, which all the leftover stuff, and it worked out really well. Coming home, same thing. We packed everything the same way we packed it on the way there. Got all of our stuff, took our shuttle back. My husband and I were feeling so good about ourselves. We're like, we were successful first-time parent travelers. Look at us. We look so good. Our kid is so well behaved, da-da-da. We get to our car. My husband, you could tell he's like, we got this. Yes, I'm packing the car in a happy mood. We're like, we're going to go to Starbucks after this. This is great. We get in the car, start the car. Our battery's dead. Crap. We called the airport security. They were able to really quickly come out and jumpstart our battery. It worked out really well. But oh my gosh, that was just funny. The second you think, like, I got this, you don't got it. That was our little travel story. Traveling for the first time with this guy. we really like to travel. We hope to travel a lot with our kids. Go from there, go visit family, go on little vacations together. We just like to do it. So it was a good first round, and we'll for sure do it again. I'm not sure how long I would do it with like having him as a lap child, because I could, like, if we were like flying to Europe or something, I feel like I would possibly just buy another seat, especially once he's like a year old, like, and he wants to run around. You can't just like hold him tight even when he's screaming. If he's like flailing, I don't think I would want to do that. But going forward, we'll test that. We'll see how it is. I'll share any tips that I have and share any tips that you have below. That would be great. I'd like to hear from other moms who have a lot of travel experience. I'm sure most have way more than I have. And also give me travel experience for road trips. We're for sure going to take a road trip next year. My husband and his family up in Toronto. So we're going to drive up there, get Leanne his passport. I'm so excited for that. But going forward, thanks for watching. Thanks for checking us out with Mr. Leon, right? But thanks so much for watching. I'm Nora Keene, and this is Peachy Keen. Thank you.